Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. The question is asking, after they've done istinja, sometimes drops come out. What do they do in that scenario? They've previously been told to put some kind of tissue or some kind of padding on it, but they want to go now perform umrah. So they're asking for the ruling, and was that advice sound in the first place or not? Now, to answer this question, there are a number of scenarios, but the first thing that we need to establish is that, is this actually happening, or is it from the wasawis of shaitan? Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he's got some very beneficial speech in this. He says, number one, it's very important for us to understand that the rulings of the Sharia are those things which are external. Every single one of us are holding najasa inside of us. We're carrying najasa. There is no ruling connected to that. Therefore, he says, rahimahullah, sometimes people will go to excessiveness to try clean themselves. They will end up cleaning inside when there is no ruling connected to the inside. This is bid'ah, and this could be from the wasa'is of shaitan. So the first thing we need to establish is, has that thing actually exited or not? The other thing that he actually mentions as well, that sometimes people have a set routine, or maybe even some exercises that they do, or even excessive coughing to make sure that everything from the bladder and the urinary tract has come out. He's saying that all of that is not permissible at all as well. All of that is bid'ah. There is no dalil for it, and it's from, again, could be from the wasawis of shaitan. Sometimes people, they say you should stand up and sit down, you do squats. Some people say you should cough. Some say that you should do istinjaa and then wait. All of this, like he said, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, is not permissible. And the reason why is because the ruling is only established when you are certain or think very likely that that thing has come out. And if it hasn't, then there is no ruling. You just carry on as normal. But if you pay attention to that, then you're falling into the traps of shaitan, and you could be innovating into religion which is not from it. So that's the first thing. First, we have to establish whether the thing has come out. If it has come out, like we've said, there are maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 scenarios, but we'll just simplify it to 2. Number one, the person has tried his best to clean himself. Then something comes out. That person should ignore what comes out. Now, I want us to understand this very carefully. Okay, let's go back. The first scenario, the person knows something has come out. In that scenario, the person must make sure that he washes himself, and he washes his garment, and he must make sure that the najasa has been removed completely. That's the first scenario, okay? Second scenario, and this is what I meant by the example I just gave, is that the person has tried his best, okay? And he thinks, okay, there could be a drop that comes out after I've done istinja. That person should, and this is the view of the majority of ulama, should sprinkle over himself and carry on with his day. Especially at the fact that the majority of ulama are saying that small doses or drops, should we say, of najasa are overlooked. And Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah brings a very beneficial and factual point which could help people who are suffering from this. He says, rahimahullah, at the time of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we don't have water readily available with the amount of water that we have now in our bathrooms. They used to quite often just wipe, and not even wash, just quite often just wipe. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah says, it is well known that wiping does not remove every single particle of najasa. It doesn't remove everything. Hence, we shouldn't pay too much attention to the idea that, I'm not clean. First scenario, if you know that you're not done yet, and there's still something that's coming out, then you have to wait. Then you have to make sure that the najasa has been cleaned. But the second scenario is that you have waited, and you are, you think very likely that you are done now. In that scenario, you wash. And if you feel that, drops are still going to come out, or you feel that drops are coming out, but nothing has really actually come out, then in that scenario, majority have said just do the sprinkling, and small bits of najasa are overlooked. The third scenario, the person has got an actual problem, and the doctors have confirmed this. And this is known as incontinence. In this scenario, the ulama have said the person should make sure that the najasa doesn't spread. He should contain it. This is the advice that the Messenger of Allah gave to Fatima, who was suffering from excessive bleeding, isti'adha. So he says to her, put a garment around, the area which is bleeding, and make wudu for every single salah. So now this is what we get from incontinence. Now, if you've constantly got najasa coming out of you and there is no gap, or there is difficulty for you to establish the salah even if there is a gap, then what you should do is you do wudu for every single salah. So now dhuhr has entered, you do wudu. That wudu lasts you until asr. Whatever comes out of you, pay no attention to it. Unless if you have broken your wudu through any other means, such as sleeping or going to the bathroom or passing wind, etc. That's what the ulama have said when it comes to... Now, incontinence could be liquid, solid or gas. So a person could be suffering from excessive wind. But here the question is about the drops. So what I would say to the brother is, look, are you sure something is coming out of you? If the answer is yes, then you need to clean yourself, okay? If by cleaning yourself, you are still in doubt that, that there is still something coming out of you, then you have to wait and see and sprinkle and then carry on. Unless if you can get it confirmed by the doctors that you actually have got a problem, then you shouldn't pay attention to these things. Wash yourself, sprinkle if you have to, and then that's it. Carry on with your day. And if something does come out, then رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا وَأَخْطَأْنَا. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He purifies us internally and externally, and He gives us the fiqh of the religion. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.